All right. So, what is project-based learning? Project-based learning is when you master content by applying it to real-world problems or situations. In other words, we've got a real thing that we're trying to accomplish with each unit of our learning. For Unit 1, we're going to try to convince Miss Herring and Miss Pratchett to let us put up a mural that we design as a group, and we're going to be learning more about the history of Washington while we do it. Our first unit is going to focus on the various communities in Washington and how they came to be here. The mural itself will be a patchwork of squares that we each design about our individual communities to represent the greater IA community. So the learning that you do will focus on the community you live in, but also on Washington more broadly. As we are doing our learning, we will also be practicing real-life skills that are needed to be successful as an adult. Things like how to understand a community and represent that community in its various facets, how to present information in an organized manner, how to complete research and take notes, how to create videos, and how to communicate our goal in a clear and concise manner. Concise is a fancy schmancy word that means short and well spoken. Our research and note-taking will be on the various groups that make up our communities, including Native American communities, settler, or sometimes called colonizer communities, that is to say the folks moving west along the Oregon Trail, and immigrant communities. And those are folks who are coming in through ports here on the West Coast or are moving into the U.S. but moving directly here. We'll create videos for our presentations to Mrs. Herring and Mrs. Pratchett. Don't worry, we'll talk about how to make and edit those videos and ways that we can do that without having our faces on the screen if we choose not to. Every unit will build on those skills and we'll potentially add a few others as we go. Just know that for right now, I expect you to try and do your best, but I know that you are learning and growing. How well you do at these things in May and June will definitely be at a much higher level than you're currently doing them, and that's to be expected. The hope is that you learn about the history of Washington State and that you build the types of skills that will serve you well when you move beyond this classroom into either other educational settings, but also those settings outside of those environments, and ultimately as an adult.